The Rupel Road Fire Station, and it's a long history to try to explain to the viewers quickly, but by a petition, Mayor Coyne had closed the Rupel Road Fire Station, one of the city's two. A petition has reopened it for the time being, but the issue is still being disputed in court. How do you feel about all that? Would you open or close that station? Would you contest or accept the petition? Would you, and related to that, would you privatize EMS service? That's related because if they have to post so many firefighters at the two different stations, they might not have enough bodies they might have too many people employed to privatize EMS as well. And I'll let you answer those questions and explain the relationship to the sense that it's part of your answer. And we are starting with Jack, right?
Okay. On the fire station, what upsets me about that is there are so many issues going on in the city right now that to use taxpayer money to fight this with the people that signed the petition, they're being taken to court over signing the petition to bring this back up. I think it's a total waste of time, energy, and money. We have much more pressing issues. The issue about the EMS, again, I presented it to the seniors at the senior center, is not just that one incident that I mentioned. I did a lot of research, and I credit the AFL-CIO and an organization called partneringwithfamilies.org, and they said there are a few issues that you always have to ask before you privatize anything. Are you going to give up your transparency? In other words, you can always see the expenditures and the revenues and things when you're doing it municipally, not so much when it's private. And two, if these companies want this service so bad and they are required to make a profit, why can't we at least break even? I think they're valid questions. And third, as I started to do this, this wasn't unique to the city of Cincinnati. This was happening all over the country. It's not that it can't work. Many small, very small communities have used it, but there has to be backup plans in place. And again, that goes back to the communication piece. Let's talk about everything.
Okay, Mike.
Well, you're popping into my area now, and it's going to be tough saying all I want to say in 60 seconds or so, but clearly we need a station back there. We can't meet NFPA standards despite what the mayor was saying, and I could go on for that quite a lot. Ego's got in the way. Where Station 3 is currently located is not where it should be. It should be in the center of the Brook Park, between the airport and 130th Brook Park Road and Sheldon Road. It should be in the center there somewhere where it can respond to the majority of people, and then the satellite station in the back of the city. Totally against privatization. Our firefighters serve a dual purpose on the ambulance run and as a firefighter. And when there's a fire, you need more bodies at the fire. If you're going to take away the ambulance side of that, that takes away 3 or 4 guys. You're only responding to fires with 3 or 4 guys, and that's what the mayor is ultimately trying to get to. We can't do that. We need more firefighters, so I'm definitely against the privatization of the ambulance services, without a doubt.
Okay, Jeff.
A couple quick points. Privatization of EMS, no, I'm not for that. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe over 90% of the calls typically taken are EMS calls by our and not house fires or other things like that. The majority of the work that our firefighters do are EMS calls. They need to be kept there. Regarding keeping the Rupel Road station open, I think Jack mentioned there was some communication challenges. There has been lawsuits and petitions and things like that. I think it comes down to revenue and efficient and sustainable services. We've got to talk and figure out between contracts and money what it's going to take to keep the west side residents of Brook Park safe. And Mike, I saw a presentation that Mike did at a meet and greet, and he pointed out some things. When you look at Brook Park, it looks like Massachusetts in reverse. You've got west side residents that are pretty far away from the center of the city, where 90% of the majority is, but you cannot forget about them. You've got to provide them effective, efficient, sustainable services. So we've got to figure out on council, the administration, where the money is coming to do that, and how do we do that moving forward.
Julie?
I think during the special election that was held for the fire station issue, I think the voters were pretty clear in that they wanted it to be kept open. So at this time, if elected, our job as council people is to represent the people, the residents, and they've made clear their wishes. They want it open, so I wouldn't, you know, fight that. And I think it's a waste of our taxpayer money to be going after the citizens group that put that on the ballot. Regarding privatization of EMS, I'm 100% against that. I have concerns about increased response times, overall decline in safety. I don't think it's a good idea.
Okay. And Jack, any reply, any follow-up?
No, just, I like what Mike had to say, and I agree with him about the response times and things. And one of the things as a follow-up to that city that did fail, that because I followed up on it afterwards, is within a week, the city and its residents were begging the firefighters to start taking those phone calls again. And we just don't want to be put in that position.
I agree, yeah. My son is a lieutenant on the airport fire department. And prior to getting on the airport fire department, he worked for a private ambulance service. The turnover was tremendous. Sometimes he didn't meet his partner till the day he came in. Our firefighters train every day together, so they know what to do. If they're stabbing with a needle, he knows to get the bottle or hold it up or do whatever, because they train and they work together on a daily basis. The equipment was inferior. They're doing it for a profit, and people say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, the difference is that those people work for us. When you're working for a dollar or a dime, you find ways to cut corners, and those corners can mean people's lives. So I'm definitely against privatization of the ambulance services.
Okay, any follow-up?
No additional comment this time.
Okay, Julie.